Good morning, class. How are you?
Oh, fine.
In our last class, we talked about the definition of an integer. Does anyone remember the definition of an integer? You, Sarah?
Um, I think it has something to do with whole numbers and them being negative and positive.
Correct, Sarah. You're right. Whole numbers can be positive or negative numbers. So today we're going to learn how to multiply and divide and add, subtracting those integers. Everybody take good notes because there will be a test. Students, create this number line starting from -5 to +5 on your paper. The expression we're going to use today is +3 minus, sorry students, I must have not had my coffee because I meant to say +3 plus -2. So the first step we have to do is place a dot that marks +3. Then we have to move 2 spaces to the left to mark the -2. Indicate your movement. 1, 2. We will end up on +1. So 3 plus -2 equals +1. Does anybody have any questions at this point? Yes, you, Tom?
I don't understand why you move from the 3 backwards.
Because I did that because we started a +3, and the -2 is on the left side of the 0, and the +3 is on the right side. So once you start from +3, you have to move 2 spaces to the left to show that you're moving towards the negative side.
Oh, so if it was 3 plus 2, we would have moved to the right side?
Correct.
Oh, okay, I get it.
Anyone else have any questions? Well, now we'll learn the second method to adding integers. So, I'm going to keep my number line, but work on this side now. And we will keep the same expression, so I'm just going to erase the answer, so I can show you another way to work. This method I'm going to use is called zero pair. And if you don't know what zero pair is, it's basically a method to use to cancel out values. The first step of zero pair is to draw circles to indicate the first value, which is +3. So we're going to have to draw 3 positive circles. So draw 3 positive circles, class. Then we have to draw 2 negative circles at the bottom, below the 3 positive circles. Make sure you line up your circles together so it can be easier. Your page should look like this. Then we have to pair a positive circle with a negative circle to create 0. And you can cross it out or you can leave it, but I like to cross it out so you can know that you're done with it. So keep doing this for every pair you have. Oh, we have no negative circle to match this positive circle. So that's our answer. The remainder is our answer. So we have a +1. So 3 plus -2 equals +1. Does anyone have any questions?
That's easy.
You're sure right. So now let's work on subtracting integers. I'm going to erase this side of the board, okay? Subtracting integers is really like adding integers. You just have to do a few different steps, and then you follow the addition rules. So, the expression we're going to use today is -5 minus -3. Okay? So I'm going to erase the movement that we did on adding integers. Okay, so this is our expression, but we have to change our expression a little bit. So the first step to do when you subtract integers is to change the subtraction sign to an addition sign, just like this. Then do the opposite sign for the second number. So since we have a -3, it will be changed to a +3. Now we can work. So, the first step to do using a number line is place a dot that marks -5. Then we have to move 3 spots to the right to represent +3. 1, 2, 3. We will land a -2. So, -5 minus -3 equals -2, which is the same as -5 plus +3. Does anybody have any questions? If there are no more questions, let's move on to the second method using zero pair. So, we're going to use the same expression. I'm going to show you the right way to use zero pair with subtracting, and if you do the wrong way, how to make sure you know how to correct yourself. So, our problem is -5 minus -3. Let's write that. So, we have to draw. Let's show the wrong way first. We have to draw 5 negative circles, right? Then we have to draw 3 negative circles. This is an easy mistake to make, but you can eventually point it out because there's no positive circles. So you can't use zero pair. But if you do it the correct way, you have 5 negative circles and 3 positive circles. So let's cancel each value out. And we'll have 2 negative circles left. So, -5 minus -3 equals -2. Now, let's work on multiplying and dividing integers. Multiplying and dividing integers are basically the same thing, except you're multiplying instead of dividing, or you're dividing instead of multiplying. So, I don't need a number line, so I'm going to erase that. No more number lines, students. But I believe that I chose number lines because number lines are really easy to use. Do you agree, class?
Yeah, it was okay. I like ordered pair better. Or zero pair.
So, our expression is negative 9 divided by 3. So, the first step is to use absolute value. Does anybody remember what absolute value is? Well, if you don't remember, it's alright. Absolute value is basically the number without regards of the sign. So the positive version of something. So the negative 9 turns into a positive 9. And the 3 stays positive 3. So we're going to have to divide 9 divided by 3. So 9 divided by 3. At this level, everybody should know what 9 divided by 3 is. So what is 9 divided by 3, class?
3!
Okay, so we have 3. But we're not done yet because we have to see which sign to use. And since we have 2 different signs, we have to use this, well, a triangle. So create the triangle. You might be asking why we have to create a triangle. Because this helps at the beginner's levels. So place a addition sign at the top and 2 subtracting signs at the bottom. So basically it represents a positive number, negative number, and negative number. Since we already used one of the negative numbers, cross that out. And we use the positive number, cross that out. So that 3 will become a negative 3. Does anyone have any questions? Yes, you?
I guess I just want to know how or well, so the in the triangle, the positive sign was at the top and the 2 negative signs was at the bottom. But what if I had put a negative sign in the top and then 2 positive signs at the bottom?
So like this?
Yeah, what if I had done that?
Well, you could do that. It all depends how your problem is. So if you had 9 divided by 3, you could cross the addition sign out, and then you would have another addition sign, and then you would have a negative. No, you can't do that with dividing and multiplying integers because let me give you written rules. The written rules say if you have a negative number divided by a positive number, your answer will be negative. But if you have a 9 or a positive number divided by a positive number, your answer will be positive. So if your signs differ, negative. If your signs are the same, positive. Do you understand now, Cassandra?
I think so.
Okay, now let's work on a multiplication problem. So I'm going to erase the board. Like I said at first, multiplying and dividing integers are basically the same thing. Just instead of dividing, you multiply. Sounds easy?
So far,
Great.
it's much better than those word problems we did last time.
Someone has to do it. So the problem we're going to use today is 3 times negative 6. Okay, so the first step is to multiply without regards of the sign, so the absolute value. So what is 6 times 3, class?
18!
Correct. So write 18. Remember, you're not done yet because you have to see which sign to use. So in this instant, you can use the sign, but since I give you the written instructions, since you have a positive and a negative sign, 2 different signs, the answer will be what, class?
Negative?
Correct. So the answer is 3 times negative 6 equals negative 18. Any questions?
Mm-mm.
So I'm going to erase the board and give you a world application. Because some of you want to know, why do we use integers in the real world? Will this ever apply to my life? Yes, it will. Does anybody know what this is?
It looks like a checkbook.
Correct. Many of your parents use these, and so will you one day. So let's give a real world problem.
My dad always loses his.
So let's say you have $50 in the bank account, okay? So let's write $50. And you go to the store and you see this really cute shirt. And it costs $75. And you write a check for $75 and you buy the shirt. So you have... What operation are we going to use? Addition, subtraction, multiplication, or or subtraction? Class?
Well, I think we would use subtraction because you're buying something.
Correct. So we have, this is our expression. So before we move on, we have to solve. So what is 50 from 75? Class?
25.
Correct. So you have 25. But remember, you can't really subtract integers, so you have to change that to an addition sign and then change that to a negative 75. So basically you have to subtract 50 from 75, which we did, 25. But since you have two different signs, you have, which one's greater? 75 or 50?
75.
Correct, Tom. So, we will use the negative sign. So your balance in your bank account is negative 25. Nobody wants that because that's bad. So, to raise your balance up, you have to add more credit or deposit more money instead of getting more debits and taking money out. So, let's say you mowed your neighbor's lawn and she gave you a check for $40 and you put that in your bank account. So, our new expression will be negative 25 plus a positive 40. Now we have to subtract, we have to take 25 from 40, which is 15. And since the 40 is greater than 25, we take the positive sign. So your balance in your bank account is $15. Does anybody have any questions with this real world application?
Oh, now I get it. God, I really didn't know why we used integers, but it makes sense when you talk about it with the check in the bank account.
Good. Good. That's very good. So, now I will hand the class an integer practice worksheet. Okay. There are 12 problems. Take this page and use it as a study guide for your unit test. Take one, pass me out. This lesson has been taught from Mrs. Goode. I will be walking around the classroom if you need any help. Don't be afraid to ask because I'm here to help as a teacher.